we're always gonna go for that background, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, sa gitna na siya. Okay. I have enough audio for the starting card.
Do we?
I guess.
Okay. Well, now we do.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Justin.
And I'm Madeline.
And this is Unedited.
And Meandering.
And tonight we're gonna talk about teaching your kids independence.
Yeah.
So yun yung topic ko. As we said, we take turns choosing topics, and since we talked about high school last time, a big part of that, of her going to high school, where she goes to, sa Baguio, is needing to teach her to be independent, which was something that I've been helping her with ever since naman.
Yeah. It was pretty easy to adjust.
Yeah. So, was there ever a point where you realized that you were given more freedom than your friends were?
Yeah, ever since grade school. Because, I was one of the students that was allowed to commute.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the only students who knew how to commute.
Yeah, but you were also like really close, right?
Yeah.
Do you have like friends who live really close to school?
No, but then again, I didn't have that much friends in Bridgerton. Didn't have that much friends in Bridgerton. Yeah, pero yeah, most of them have a school bus, or they're getting picked up. But in Pisay, I felt that I was taught to be independent earlier,
mm-hmm.
when I learned that some of my friends didn't know how to wash their own dishes, or
mm-hmm.
hindi marunong magwalis ng maayos.
Right.
And I was like, what, really? That really shocked me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And syempre yung doing chores around the house, that's a big part of being independent. Lalo na nga dun sa situation mo na you have to be away from home. But like when you talk to people about how you were raised, particularly with that regard, or in that regard rather, what kind of comments do you hear?
Wow, hindi na parang ang cool ng dad mo. Yeah, cause like some of my friends, kasi diba sa dorm we have to get a gate pass sign for us to be able to go outside,
right,
to the mall. And it was pretty easy to ask for permission from you. I was like, I'm going here. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna message you the dorm. I'm allowing my daughter to go outside. Pero some of my friends, parang kailangan in advance na tatawagin, like 2 days before aalis. Pupunta kami dito, papayagan mo ba ako? Ganun.
Yeah.
Or like, they're not allowed to go outside. Or their parents constantly like, update me.
Yeah.
It's like overbearing.
And you don't think I was overbearing?
No.
That's
pretty chill.
Did that feel weird? Like when you talk to other people, na parang bakit hindi ganyan yung dad ko?
Na overbearing?
Like, I don't know. Like, did it feel like I cared less?
No. My friends were pretty jealous. Yeah. Lalo na so we're like pretty informal.
That's true. We are.
Yeah.
Well, kasi sa akin, like when I was growing up, I didn't have those liberties that I gave you. My parents were, my dad largely was not as liberal as I am in my upbringing. So hindi ko na-experience yung mga na-experience mo. And that's, I think, partly what motivates me to raise you the way I do, is because I want you to experience those things. I want you to experience going on sleepovers, or I want you to experience what?
I don't, like, bigla ko naalala when I don't think any other parent would allow their child to go to a friend's house 10 hours away from a place they're studying that's already 8 hours away from home.
Yeah.
For a weekend.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Kasi, alam mo yung parang, like even if I was told not to do certain things, I still did them. So like I
You
don't
were
want
a
to.
rebel.
I was. I
I
don't
am
want to
not.
like. Yeah. I don't want to like create to have you feel that guilt that I felt.
Mm.
And also like, you know, I don't want for there to be like a gulf between us
Uh,
where you're like, I don't want to tell my dad that I want to do this.
yeah.
Diba? Kaya there are times naman na I say no, diba? Na, do you remember? Because I remember one.
What? I don't remember.
I think you were in grade school. You were trying to get permission to sleep over at someone's house.
Uh-huh.
And I said, okay, just get the phone number of the parent. Uh, or something like that. Get the phone number so that I can talk to them. And I was very clear na parang get that.
Uh-huh.
And you didn't give it to me.
I
So I didn't
remember.
let you go.
I remember going to that sleepover.
Yeah, but like you had to give it to me.
Ah.
Kasi I was telling you, I'm not gonna let you go unless you give it to me. Kasi sa akin naman, as long as I get to talk to the parent, ganyan. And,
Naalala ko.
sige, go naman.
Naalala ko when my friend, di ba, 14th birthday ko, I had it with my friends. Like, nag-sleep over yung friends ko. Sa, in an Airbnb that we rented. Pero I remember,
cool, Dad.
I remember my friends' parents were so surprised and pleased that you were saying na, hi, I'm Madeline's dad. I'm gonna be my partner, and please tell me if your child has any allergies.
Right.
It's like the parents were so shocked that you were that considerate.
Of course. I'm a modern dad. I had fun. Like I really like that birthday of yours because I got to be the dad. I got to be like really dad.
Yeah.
I made a quiz. I made a quiz about her on her birthday.
It was fun. It was nice seeing which of my friends actually listened. Shout out.
But yeah, well, I was like, I really like that. I really like doing that for you. I mean, I really enjoy being a dad. I mean, yeah.
That's, I guess, one of the other things that I feel like I have more independence with is financial stuff.
Mhm.
Like, if I buy something from Shopee, as long as it's with my money,
Right.
I don't really ask permission anymore.
Yeah.
And then my friend's like, oh, I really want this album. But my dad is not, like, my dad won't let me even though I have my own money.
Right.
I'm the one who's gonna pay for it. He won't let me. Dapat pag nag-DL ako, ganun.
Yeah. I don't think, yeah, like, sige, since you mentioned that, I don't think academic achievement should be, like, not that it shouldn't be rewarded, but that I don't think we should withhold things from our kids because they're not meeting a certain performance. Siguro, sa akin if there's something that's preventing you from doing well, then yeah, sure. Like for example, if I don't know, Genshin gets too distracting from schoolwork, then I'll say, hey, you gotta finish your stuff first before you play. And I think that's a reasonable.
Yeah, you did that once.
Limit.
Not with Genshin, with friends.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, I was watching grade 5, I think. I was watching too much Friends. My grades were horrible. So you said you deleted Friends.
Yeah.
You didn't.
Because it's like it's mine. Like,
So
I didn't know it was gonna be on Netflix.
I found your laptop. You hid it on top of the cabinet. I found your laptop and watched it before you got home. And then stopped. You never deleted it.
My point is, that's still something that you remember, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that I think that's trusting your kid to do the right thing is really important if you want them to be independent. Too often parents think that kids being kids, they're gonna make mistakes, they're not gonna make the right choices. And the thing is, yeah, that's gonna happen. The kids are dumb. So like that's gonna happen. But guess what? That's supposed to happen, Like I did a lot of dumb stuff when I was growing up, and I turned out okay, largely. I mean,
Largely.
largely, yeah.
Okay.
Is that a fat joke, or are you
No!
making a fat
No,
joke?
I'm not. What the
Body
heck?
shaming.
What? I wasn't. I was just confirming largely.
Yeah.
Eh, what mistakes did I make? I made a lot of mistakes. Oh, not this was not a mistake. I remember one of the few moments that I felt very not independent and helpless.
Mm.
It was first day of school, no, grade 4. I
Mm.
was a new student, and used to the I wasn't used to the time that we were being dismissed
What?
at.
Oh, okay.
Kasi primary school grade 1, 2, 3, usually I was out of school by 1 p.m. But in Bridget, our school
Like
ended
4?
at 4, 5.
Yeah.
And I remember, since it was already so late, medyo messed up na yung utak ko. I felt like I've been there like loitering for much longer than I actually was. And I was waiting for Papa because he was still in Ateneo. And I was
Mm.
waiting for him to pick me up. And it was like 5:12 na. So I was only waiting for around 12 minutes. I was already crying. I was holding my Barbie bag. I was reading. I had a binder that had like funny jokes on the cover. I was reading that over and over again, trying to pass time.
Mm.
And then when you finally arrive, I was like, Papa, you're finally here. And then I heard from my friends noon, like when we were talking about the first day of school, they thought that I was in grade 2 or something. Because first of all, I had a Barbie bag. It's like I was crying. I was crying so bad because Papa still wasn't picking me up. And it wasn't like he was 2 hours late. He was like on time.
Yeah. So it was an adjustment. I think so just for context for people, like the school was about a 15-minute walk.
Mm.
Yeah. From our place. You could take a tricycle, but I mean you could also just walk. I mean, like there are some streets that you'd cross, but largely it's pretty pedestrian friendly,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So uh fourth grade, I think you had service.
No, grade 5 service.
Grade 5 service.
Grade
Grade 4.
4, you picked me up at dismissal, pero I think around second quarter I started commuting by myself.
So you had you commuted grade 4, but you had service grade 5.
Yeah. Hey,
That doesn't sound right.
I am remembering things correctly.
Okay.
Grade
How did
6,
you get to school?
Like,
So yeah, you had
Pero-
service. Not like
no.
no.
Ay, pumapara ako.
Nung grade 4 ka?
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Yes. Wala akong service na trike.
So when was that whole time when I was teaching
You
you to walk to school?
Grade 4.
Grade 4 ba yun?
Oh, pero mga like first quarter lang yun. And then when I got used to it, nag-trike na ako mag-isa.
I thought I did that like grade 5.
No, grade 5 still, nag-service ako. Grade 5 was also the year. For some, I think this was the year where you got all parenty, like, overbearing or something. You got a maid for the morning, like a babysitter for me in the
Right.
afternoon, and then service.
Yeah.
That was a weird year. Out of my element. I was like, what are these? I can take care of myself.
Right.
You're basically a playmate babysitter. I'm 10.
I think, yeah, I remember, and I told you this because, but like walking you to school. So there was a time when I'd walk her to school. And then, because I was teaching her how to go to school by herself, and she would walk ahead of me, and I'd be watching her the whole time, just so that she'd be comfortable walking on her own. And then, like, the distance got farther and farther, and then one day.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
So every time that we do that, before she goes inside the school, we'd catch up and so say goodbye, and then I'll tell her, I'll see you later, and I'll kiss her, and then she just goes into school. One time, I was following from like 10 feet away. she just disappears into the school without even looking back, without even like acknowledging that I was there. I was like, what? Like, because I saw you go in, so I wasn't like afraid that you got kidnapped or what. Like, I was just like, she didn't even like look back or like check if I was still there. I was like, oh my gosh, my heart. I can't. My child.
That not the same thing happened, pero first day of school, grade 7, so nasa campus ka rin with me. And then you made like a Facebook post with your lunch, and then you told this snippet about how you were talking to me, but then I think I like held your face and kissed you.
Oh,
And
no,
then-
no. I remember this was your graduation.
Graduate. Okay.
Oh.
I'm mixing two stories together.
Do you want me to tell the graduation story? Sige. So the graduation story, I was there. It wasn't technically graduation because like they don't graduate grade 6.
Yeah.
It's like a moving up
Moving
thing,
up.
but like a big thing, ceremony. So I was getting her ready. Like, I ironed her blouse. I fixed her skirt. And then, we didn't have powder. We didn't have tissue. And then when I looked at her hair, it was blue because she used my hair wax, which was blue.
I was trying to make curls.
Yeah, you had curls. You had curls though, but it was blue.
With wax, not with a curling iron.
Right. So, I got the powder. I got like the appropriate gel, I guess. And I got tissue. And I was like tutting her dress, and I was her blouse and her skirt, and like fixing her up. And she just grabs my face like this. Like as I was fretting and, fussing over her, she grabs my face, kisses me, and then says, "I'll see you later." And then she goes off to play with her friends. And I'm just, what? Yeah.
Pero yung na-mix up ko na story was first day of grade 7. And I think you were posting about like, I'm gonna have my lunch after my daughter said goodbye to me to play frisbee with her friends.
Right.
And I suddenly remembered
Yeah.
that, and I mixed it with the graduation
By that
story.
time sa graduation mo, we knew you were going to Pisay na, di ba?
Yeah?
Yeah?
Yeah, I think so.
Or hindi pa?
Hindi pa. Kasi naalala ko,
Like one student lang. We were talking of one student lang ang pumasa sa Bridget.
Two.
Yeah.
Isa pumunta sa main, isa pumunta sa MRC. And the one who got into MRC, I actually met nung grade 7.
What's MRC?
Mimaropa.
Okay.
The one I actually met her ulit nung grade 7 kasi the batch 2023 from Mimaropa campus went to Baguio. And they were just like chilling sa campus.
Right.
And we took pictures with them, we introduced ourselves, and then she recognized me. I was like, oh my gosh, hi. I passed. You didn't expect that, didn't you?
Did you recognize her?
Yeah.
Was she like one of the smart kids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was, salutatorian?
Yeah.
Yung pumasa is valedictorian and salutatorian. And I was the third one.
Yeah, my daughter. To be fair, in my school, ako lang yung pumasa, and I was like bottom of my. Yeah, I was horrible. I was the bottom of my 6th grade. Granted, my 6th grade class honors section. Granted, but I was like at the bottom of like the
Same.
class. Like we had a pet cat in our class, and I'm pretty sure the cat got better grades than I did. So like, that was the joke. Parang, there's like 44 students and one cat in grade 6 malalahanin.
Malalahanin?
Maalalahanin. It's like, these sections are hard. We just said alala, 6 alala. So, there's 44 students in 6 alala and one cat. And Justin Airanos ranked 45. Oh, the cat beat me. It's like I was dumb. I was just like bad at tests or like bad at keeping tests.
I was bad at keeping tests.
I don't understand.
That was so
like,
stupid. You're the teacher. Grade me.
And keep the test.
Like, what the heck? I have to get the paper signed by you. Oh, I remembered something. I didn't know forgery was bad. I didn't know that was a crime. So when Papa wasn't home and I still had my test papers and it was like submitted the next morning with your parents' signature, I just signed it. I didn't know it was bad. I was 9. And then you told me like, what did you do? I just signed your name. That's bad.
But you didn't get in trouble.
No.
Yeah,
Which I guess is a bad thing.
I guess. But like signatures are stupid, to be honest. Like signatures are so pointless. For one, I put my signature on everything.
Yeah.
So like if someone wanted to copy my signature, that's not very difficult. And two, my signature never stays the same. So like
that was also my issue. Like
right.
I was young, pero since I had to sign a contract for Visay,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure my signature on my contract is very different from
Is
my
that like a
signature
loophole?
now.
I wonder if that's like a loophole.
It's like, that's not my signature.
Yeah.
I can go to America if I want to. I don't have to stay here. That's not me.
My signature is, I mean, as an adult, I had to like make one signature na lang. Kasi syempre, you know, you have to.
You just have one signature.
Yeah. But then it's so stupid. Signatures are stupid. This is a stupid way to conduct business.
Ano bang gusto mo?
I don't
Biometrics?
know. Like something more distinct. Something na hindi ganun kadaling ma-fake, di ba?
Biometrics.
Oh, or like, I don't know, a chop. Do you know what a chop is? Like I think this is like in Chinese culture, like you have a stamp. That's like unique to you. It's called a chop.
So your signature on a stamp.
Like, but not my signature. Like something else.
Just like a crest.
I don't know. Yeah.
Family
crest. Like a fractal. I don't know. What would our family crest be? Like this, like our.
Oh, our.
Yeah, like not necessarily the family at large, but like our.
What would it be? I don't know.
Two people holding cell phones, not looking at each other, like looking away from each other like this.
I don't know how crests works actually. Like, what's the difference between an emblem, a crest?
I don't know. Crest, di ba yun yung lalagyan ng gamit?
Ay, naisip ko yung tinatanggal sa tinapay.
Crest, yun yung savior natin. Paano pa? Wala na. So, yan. Okay, going back.
Oh, yeah.
Going back to independence. I don't know. Like, what else is there to say about being independent, becoming independent? I think a lot of people fear that when you let your kids be more independent, there's this tendency that the kids will
not need you anymore?
Or, like drift away and not be as close. I mean, we're pretty close, but we're kind of forced to be close right now. But yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
Teaching your child how to be independent.
No, I mean like that idea. That idea of being like of drifting apart because the kid is independent, because the kid doesn't need you anymore.
I'm stupid. I mean, that idea, thinking about that, thinking that that's gonna happen, is kind of stupid. Because you can always reach out.
Right.
Like, just reach out. Like, it doesn't have to be the child constantly asking for help. Like, if the child stops asking, Mom, can you make me breakfast? Does that mean you're gonna just drift apart now?
Yeah.
Like, you can offer, like, hey, do you want to have lunch when you're free from work or college, you know? You can always make the first move if you feel like you're drifting apart.
Right. And but plus, like, I think it's very selfish, I guess, for parents to like
have a child in order to para may mag-alaga sa kanila.
That too. Pero the other part where like you hold back their growth and development because you're worried that they're gonna be what? Oh, my phone. It's not because I'm emotional, it's because
you're
not emotional.
Boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I think it's very selfish to like hold your child back in terms of development. in terms of becoming more independent, just because you're scared that they won't need you anymore. Like, our goal as parents is to no longer be needed. Like, that's the end game. That's the plan. Get your kids to that point where they don't need you anymore. And as sad as that sounds, that's really how it's supposed to be, I think.
But I'm like, just because they don't need you anymore doesn't mean that you're gonna drift apart necessarily.
Yeah.
With my previous point.
Ayun.
Yeah.
What do you think's gonna happen to us, like, as you become even more independent? Like, right now, of course, you're kind of stuck here.
Uh-huh.
But, like, when you go off to college, let's say, and you go stay in a dorm, or when you go to med school or whatever.
I think you'd be busy.
Yeah, that's true. But, like, our relationship, what do you think?
I think we wouldn't I don't really message that much.
Like random stuff, like memes.
I mean, we send memes, but we
Yeah.
don't have like very long conversations in text. Pero
We call.
Yeah. I think that's still what will happen. We just call each other, meet up.
I mean, it's largely gonna be up to us, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna have to, like, find time for me when I'm not, like, in La Union or something. Like, I'm not learning
Busy
to
with
surf
theater.
or, like, yeah,
Ayun pa rin ba goal mo?
to be a surf dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sa La Union.
Yung goal ko is to,
Drinking
like,
whiskey in the
my
shore.
goal is to, like, retire sa La Union, teaching in, like, a small university there, small college there, and then, like, have you just, like, surfing. Yeah. And I'd be on the
Why?
beach, and I'd be drinking. I'd be, like, stripped to my waist, and I'm just, like, getting sunburned. And that's how I want to retire. I'm, like, watching my kids surf. You don't know how to surf.
I wanna
Dishonor on your cow! Dishonor on your surfboard!
I wanna learn how to yung naka-strap ka sa yacht or something.
Sa yacht?
A speedboat. Yacht.
It's a really slow water ski.
Yacht.
Nasa yacht ako. How goes it, Madeline? With my champagne. And you're like sunk into the water.
Go faster!
Water skiing.
Water skiing, yeah. Or paraglide.
I don't know. Paragliding's like when you're flying, I guess.
I think paragliding is when you're like pushed off a cliff. And then you're
I
flying.
don't know.
I think that's it.
How do you deal with heights? Are you okay with heights?
I'm fine with yeah. I dealt with heights every day in Baguio.
Would you cliff dive?
Cliff dive?
Yeah.
Probably not. Kasi I'm afraid of the impact of the water. What if it hurts? I'm fine with heights. Just like the impact.
I cliff dive. Cliff dive. Dove. Cliff
dove.
dove.
Cliff dived?
Cliff.
Dived.
Yeah. I did the cliff dive.
Okay.
So, and like when I got out of the water, I was covered in bruises.
What?
No, because it's really
Kaya nga.
like, I guess if you're an expert, it didn't hurt. It didn't hurt. That's the thing. But I was covered in bruises after.
Oh God. If you're an expert, I watched a video about professional ano tawag doon? Board cliff divers. Okay. Professional divers na when they dive into the water, there's so little splash and they distribute like the bubbles sa baba. So when you look at the surface of the water, the bubbles that they're making is so tiny, it looks like the water is boiling.
Oh.
They're like a needle.
Yeah, that's not me. I was like one big splash.
Splash.
It was scary though when I jumped. Like, I was thinking I was gonna like jump into the air, but like right before I reached the edge, I paused and then just like fell down. Like my momentum was like
Also, natakot ako sa nihet na rocks.
Hindi, wala naman sa area.
Pero ayun, like one of my fears. I'm fine with the height. Like, let's say I'm gonna go hiking. I'm fine with hiking. The height is the least of my problems. Endurance would be the number one. Pero with cliff diving, tapos like marami yung mga rocks around it. I feel it's so scary. Even if I see other people doing it successfully, It's
Yeah.
like I could be an outlier.
Yeah. I get that. I mean, I guess it's like part of the thrill. It's not thrilling for me.
About this
Anyway.
relates to the independence thing.
Yeah.
My friends and I kept dreaming about the day that we would go to La Union because one of my friends lives in La Union and we would just swim there.
Yeah.
And they kept saying, "Yo, magstay kami sa bahay mo, magstay kami sa bahay mo." And he was like, "No, there's not enough room."
It'd be nice though, like when you're in college. I mean, sooner maybe, but like probably when you're in college and you get to do that. I wish I got to do that when I was in college. I never really did. Never really had college friends because I didn't go out. I wasn't like allowed to go out. Sadly, still got someone pregnant though. So
wasn't allowed to go to a resort with his friends, but
yeah,
got me.
Yeah. So that's, I guess that's also the thing, right? Like if you don't explain boundaries and limitations to your kid, and I'm not faulting my parents for this, definitely. I was aware, but also I had, I guess, poorer impulse control, I would say. Because it was my way of like, going out, being with people, having fun.
What the hell?
But because I felt so deprived of that, I wasn't using my head properly during those moments. Which is like not to say there are regrets. There are no regrets. Yeah, I love this one. But yeah, explaining those boundaries and explaining those situations, explaining why you impose those limits, they go a long way towards making sure that our kids are safe rather than just like straight up banning them, because kids are gonna figure out a way to do stuff. So like, I don't know, you want to talk about alcohol?
That was so random. Why?
I don't know, like, because it's one of those things, right? But we don't have to talk about that now.
Okay.
But like, explaining those things to them is a lot better than just saying, no, don't do this.
Yeah.
Because then they're not going to understand why they shouldn't do it. Maybe when they're older, but like, that doesn't really help them in the here and now. So
that reminds you of a plot line of Bridgerton. You
Ah,
didn't
yeah.
watch Bridgerton.
I don't watch Bridgerton. Yeah.
Anyways, like their parents never explained to the debutantes na how sex works. And the main character, si Daphne, was like, I don't know, 19 or older. And she was like, how do babies work? How do you get a baby? So when she found out how babies were made, because when she was like having sex with the Duke, the Duke just kept pulling out because he didn't want the baby.
Right.
And Daphne was like, oh, I guess that's just how it works. He just needs to pull out. But when she found out that he was pulling out because he didn't want the baby and not because he couldn't, because that's what the Duke told her, he couldn't have a baby. And since Daphne now knows that
that's how it works,
like he needs to be inside for her to have a baby,
right?
I feel like this should have been like kept out of the series na kasi it was in the book and people didn't really like what happened. Daphne basically assaulted him.
Oh. Crap.
Yeah. But they still kept it in the series despite having backlash sa book mismo. So
she has, yeah. So maybe we'll do an episode where we just talk about like stuff you've seen that I haven't. That would be a pretty boring episode. Yeah. It's just you talking and I'm like, that's messed up though. Like,
diba? They still kept it in. They had the option to have a better ending to that, but they didn't. I'm still watching season 2 though.
Even without like the Duke. Is it the Duke?
I think ang focus ngayon is si Anthony, the eldest brother. Watch Bridgerton.
Oh. I feel like it's like the kind of drama I wouldn't enjoy.
Yeah, maybe.
So, all right, well, that's it.
That's it.
How do we end this? Do we just say goodbye? Do we have like a sign off?
Have, like,
yeah. We have to figure out a sign off at some point.
we don't know how to end the video, bye. Ganun.